Monica, please report to your judge's chair. Thank you. Beginning the boys 14-18 Synchro platform final. Noah and Jonathan, 103B 2.0. Total award 38.4. William and Tom, 103B 2.0 from 10 meter. Total award 31.2. Logan and Campbell, 101B from 7 meter 2.0. Synchro Judge 5, please. Excuse me. Total award 19.8. Casey and Tristan, 103B from 7 meter 2.0. Total award 34.8. Kendall and Noah, 103B from 10 meter, 2.0. Total award 36.6. Caleb and Jonathan, 103B from 10 meter, 2.0. Judges, please re-enter your scores. Total award 31.8. Duncan and Devin, 401B from 7 meter, 2.0. Total award 36, even. Kendall and Jonathan, 103B from 10 meter, 2.0. Synchro Judge 2, please. Thank you. Total award 39, even. Jacob and Keegan, 103B from 10 meter, 2.0. Total award 45, even. Lyle and Noah, 103B from 10 meter, 2.0. Total award 44.4. Benjamin and Max, 103B from 10 meter, 2.0. Total award 45.6. Beginning the second round, Noah and Jonathan, 201B from 7 meter, 2.0. Total award 31.8. William and Tom, 403B from 10 meter, 2.0. Judges, please re-enter your scores for William and Tom. Total award is 31.8. Logan and Campbell, 201B from 5 meter, 2.0. Total award, 39, even. Casey and Tristan, 301B from 7 meter, 2.0. Total award, 34.8. Kendall and Noah, 201B from 7 meter, 2.0. Total award, 37.8. Caleb and Jonathan, 403B from 10 meter, 2.0. Judge 4 and Judge 6, please. Thank you. 34.8 is the total award. Duncan and Devin, 301B from 7 meter, 2.0. Total award, 39, even. Kendall and Jonathan, 201B from 10 meter, 2.0. Total award, 34.2. Jacob and Keegan, 401B from 10 meter, 2.0. Total award is 39.6. Individual judge scores. Execution, 6, 6, 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2. Synchronized scores, 6 and 1/2, 7, 6 and 1/2, 7, 7 and 1/2. Lyle and Noah, 5132D from 10 meter, 2.0. Judges, please use your flashcards. Execution scores. 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 7 and 1/2, 7 and 1/2. Synchronized scores. 7 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 7, 7 and 1/2, 7 and 1/2. Benjamin and Maxwell, 301B from 10 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 7 and 1/2, 7, 8, 8. Scores for synchronization, 8 and 1/2, 8, 8 and 1/2, 8 and 1/2, 9. Beginning the third round, Noah and Jonathan, 301B from 7 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 6, 5 and 1/2, 5, 5. Scores for synchronization, 5 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2, 5. William and Tom, 301B from 7 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 4 and 1/2, 5, 5 and 1/2, 4. Scores for synchronization, 4 and 1/2, 5, 6, 5 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2. Logan and Campbell, 301B from 5 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 5 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2. Scores for synchronization, 6, 6 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6, 6 and 1/2. Casey and Tristan, 5231D from 7 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 6 and 1/2, 7, 6 and 1/2, 6. Scores for synchronization, 7, 7 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 6, 7. Kendall and Noah, 301B from 7 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 5 1/2, 6, 4 1/2, 4. Scores for synchronization, 5, 6, 4 1/2, 5, 5. Caleb and Jonathan, 301B from 10 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 6, 5 1/2, 6, 6. Scores for synchronization, 7, 6, 6, 6 1/2, 7. Duncan and Devin, 52-31D from 7 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 6, 5 1/2, 6 1/2, 7. Scores for synchronization, 6 1/2, 6, 6, 6 1/2, 6. Kendall and Jonathan, 52-31D from 5 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6 1/2, 6. Scores for synchronization, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 5 1/2, 6, 6. Jacob and Keegan, 301B from 10 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6, 6. Scores for synchronization, 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 4, 4. Lyle and Noah, 301B from 5 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 6 1/2, 7, 7, 7. Scores for synchronization, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 7, 6 1/2, 6. Benjamin and Maxwell, 401B from 10 meter, 2.0. Scores for execution, 6, 6, 7, 7. Scores for synchronization, 6, 6, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6 1/2. Beginning our 4th round, Noah and Jonathan, 105B from 7 meter, 2.4. Scores for execution, 5 1/2, 5, 6, 5 1/2. Scores for synchronization, 6 1/2, 6, 6, 6 1/2, 7. William and Tom, 105B from 7 meter, 2.4. Scores for execution, 6, 6, 5 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2. Scores for synchronization, 5 and 1/2, 5, 5, 5, 4 and 1/2. Logan and Campbell, 105B from 7 meter, 2.4. Scores for execution, 5, 4 and 1/2, 6, 5. Scores for synchronization, 4 and 1/2, 4, 4 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2, 4. Casey and Tristan, 105B from 7 meter, 2.4. Execution scores, 4 and 1/2, 5, 5, 5. Scores for synchronization, 5 and 1/2, 4, 5, 5 and 1/2, 5. Kendall and Noah, 105B from 7 meter, 2.4. Scores for execution, 6 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6, 5 and 1/2. Scores for synchronization, 7, 5, 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2. Caleb and Jonathan, 52-33D from 10 meter, 2.5. From 5 meter. Scores for execution, 5 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 6. Synchronization scores, 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2. Duncan and Devin, 105B from 7 meter, 2.4. Scores for execution, 5, 5, 7, 6. Scores for synchronization, 5, 4 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2, 5, 4 and 1/2. Kendall and Jonathan, 105B from 7 meter, 2.4. Execution scores, 5 and 1/2, 7, 7, 6. Synchronization scores, 7, 7, 7, 7, 1/2, 7. Jacob and Keegan, 107B from 10 meter, 3.0. for execution, 5 1/2, 4 1/2, 6, 6. Scores for synchronization, 5 1/2, 6, 5 1/2, 7, 6. Lyle and Noah, 105B from 5 meter, 2.6. Execution scores, 5 1/2, 6, 4 1/2, 6. Synchronization scores, 6 1/2, 5 1/2, 6, 5 1/2, 6 1/2. Benjamin and Maxwell, 107B from 10 meter, 3.0. Scores for execution, 5, 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 4 1/2. Synchronization scores, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5, 5 1/2. Beginning the 5th round, Noah and Jonathan, 405C from 7 meter, 2.7. Execution scores, 6 1/2, 6, 4 1/2, 4. Synchronization scores, 4 1/2, 6, 5, 4 1/2, 5 1/2. William and Tom, 5233D, 2.4 from 7 meter. Execution scores, 5 1/2, 6, 6, 5. Synchronization scores, 5 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2.